Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here and welcome to Mornings with 60 and Me. Today is Wednesday, it's August the 24th. So welcome to Wednesday. Hope you're having a great morning so far. It's a very bright sunny day here today, beautiful summer morning, and I'm drinking my cherry tea. This part of Switzerland where I live is actually very famous for its cherries, and during the summer months, everywhere you go, there's little stalls set up with local farmers selling their cherries, and there's so many different varieties, and they actually do taste different. But this tea is lovely, and it's called, what's it called? Fantastic Cherry, and I'm really enjoying it. I put some honey in there as well, so hope you've got a cup of tea and you're settled down for Mornings with 60 and Me. I'd like to remind you, by the way, that if you want to get these news alerts first in your mailbox, just go up to 60andme.com/mornings and you can just register there and you'll get the news first. So let me bring you up to speed on a couple of things that are going on in the world. There's some breaking news this morning, and almost certainly by the time you see this news later on, there will be further developments. So this is just all we know at the moment, and I'm going to report it to you as best I can. So there has been an earthquake in Italy. It's in the center of Italy, sort of in the middle of the country. The tremors were felt in Rome. In fact, they were experienced all the way from Naples in the north down to the Adriatic coast, where I was last summer. And since I just got back from Italy, I have a very a specific concern for it, because the buildings in certain parts of the country are not really earthquake proof at all. They're old buildings built against the rocks, against the hillside. And there's a town called Amarici, which has apparently really been damaged badly. The mayor is reporting that half the town isn't here anymore, he says. And I'm looking at pictures of the reporting, and it's really quite amazing. What can happen with an earthquake in these towns where old buildings are just not, sturdy enough to withstand the tremble. It was a 6.2, and it was followed by a 5.5 aftershock. So, of course, our prayers go out to everyone concerned, to the people who are, being involved, their homes, and hope they're safe, and to the responders who are out there trying to rescue people. There have been about 6 people reported killed already, and I just have a feeling this is going to be a very long day for people in that part of Italy. So, our hearts go out to them. In Turkey, there's been an all-out offensive now on Kurdish and IS troops in Syria. The Turkish government, President Erdogan, is determined to clear Turkey of IS dominance or presence, and he's also attacking the Kurdish forces there. Now, this is really interesting because the wedding that was bombed, you remember a few days ago, was actually a Kurdish wedding. So there's all kinds of Kurds living in Turkey, Syria, and Iraq, and they're all different levels of positioning. And so some of them are considered terrorists by Turkey, others are not. So there's a gentleman named Masoud Barzani, who is the head of the Iraqi Kurdish Federation, and he is meeting in Turkey today with President Erdogan to try to resolve some of these issues with the Kurdish communities in the various countries and act in a kind of peacekeeper role. So that's going on in Turkey today, but still a very volatile part of the world. In Africa, in Nigeria, John Kerry is there talking with various government officials, and specifically yesterday met with President Buhari of Nigeria, who, as you know, is battling with the Boko Haram terrorists, and they are still in full force in his country. And having said that, yesterday there was a report that there had been an attack and several of the Boko Haram militants had been killed, including the leader who had been injured. But I haven't seen a follow-up report on that, so I'm just reporting what I saw what I read yesterday. So John Kerry is traveling in a number of countries to offer United States guidance and support where he can, and it's going to be really interesting. The relationship in Nigeria now with the States is much better because previously there was a leader called Good Luck Jonathan, who was creating some difficulty in the relationship. Now there's a new president, and I think John Kerry is confident or hopeful that the relationship can get better. So that's good news. Okay, news from Russia. As you know, the Olympics are over in Rio, but the Paralympics begin in September, and there was a ruling a few weeks ago that the Russian Paralympic athletes could not attend. And this was related to the doping scandal that had been uncovered before the Olympics. But the Russian delegation appealed this decision, and yesterday it was turned down. So this means that there will be no Russian Paralympic athletes at the Games. And of course, there's such mixed opinion about this. It's very sad for the athletes who have been preparing for years. And, all you can say is that we move on from this experience and hopefully everything will be okay for them. But in news from the States, President Obama has visited Louisiana, where the serious flooding has taken place the last few weeks. He was there in Baton Rouge, and of course gave his heartfelt concern for the people, for the loss of property, and certainly the loss of life, and gave his said how heartbroken he was, and brought best wishes from the American public to them. They're really in a big cleanup mode now, but it was his decision to go and visit. He had held back from going to Louisiana because he didn't want to be a distraction from the rescue operations, and the Democratic mayor in Baton Rouge had asked him to stay away. But of course, there's lots of dialogue about whether he should have gone sooner. Donald Trump was there on Friday, and Hillary Clinton isn't planning to attend as of this morning. But it's just everyone's hearts go out to people in Louisiana. It doesn't matter what party you're in. It's just people suffering and dealing with a big problem. So our wishes go to the people in Louisiana and our sisters there from 60andMe. I know you're there, so take care. In the UK, just one little note here, because it's very warm here today in Switzerland. But in the UK, today is supposedly going to be the hottest day of the year. 34 degrees centigrade is what's predicted. And this is really unusual for the UK. I mean, I was born in England. I lived there a lot of my life. And, when the sun came out, you kind of stopped whatever you were doing and went to celebrate because it was just so rare. But this summer has been warm and in most of Europe. And today is going to be the hottest day of the year. So I know we have lots of 60andMe sisters in England and Scotland, Ireland. Take care. And, keep hydrated, try to stay somewhere cool, and, just take it easy. This is a day to just not run around. It's very, very hot, so be safe. Okay, so I hope that these are good news stories for you to hear. I know sometimes they seem a little bit abstract, but it's our world, and it's the world that we're all living in, and I hope you find it valuable. I did find a story, though, that I wanted to share from Huffington Post, which is something we've actually wrote about this a few times, and I have a couple of articles on the subject of names that younger people call older women. And when you're in a shop or you're out in the world, people are in a restaurant, and people will say things like, thank you, dear, or okay, honey, or sweetie. Some people even go to the extreme of saying young lady. Don't you love that? But they say they don't really know what to call us. We're not, I suppose in France you've got madame. And when I was in Indonesia, I've forgotten the actual word, but there's a word that just says respect for older women. It's kind of a name that they've created for older women. And we don't have that in our countries in the Western world. So I guess the question is, what do we want to be called? And I think that there's two sides to this. I mean, the one is that if someone has a good intention, that is coming from their heart, they just want to say, dear, thanks, dear. It's okay. I know in England, everyone says love. Thank you, love. And they're just kind of nice words to make you feel good. There's no negativity. It's just a good-hearted a name that people are called. So that's, I think, the consideration. If someone is calling you honey or love or dear with a good intention, maybe it's not such a big deal. But there are some people who do say it in a kind of condescending ageist way. Just thank you, dear, or that's okay, love, I'll look for that for you, or just in a way that they think you're not capable of something that you were when you were younger. So anyway, I just thought it was a really interesting article. And whenever someone calls you ma'am or dear, how do you feel? What would you like to be called? I guess that's another question that we should ask. But I've got one more little story here for you. I was going to do it yesterday, but I thought today might be better because it's about skincare. And as you know, I don't make a big deal out about skincare or even makeup. I love it. I play with it. But there are some things that, you wonder, should I put this on my face? I mean, we'll experiment with homemade recipes. And this article in Huffington Post says, here are the 7 things that you should or shouldn't put on your face. So I'll go through them quickly, and then you can just kind of remind yourself, if you do use these, whether it's a good thing for your skin or not. So first thing, petroleum jelly. Good old Vaseline. Should you put that on your face? Well, the article says that it's okay to put on your body, like if you've got like dry skin, just to put it on wet skin after the shower or bath. But it's not so good for your face because it's very thick. It does hold moisture in. So if you've got very dry skin, it's probably okay, but probably too oily and thick for your face as a facial moisturizer. Second thing, alcohol-based products. So it turns out that there's 2 kinds of alcohol. Here's my science thing for the day. There's isopropyl alcohol, which is very drying, and it's in a lot of toners apparently, so that's not a good thing. It dries your skin. But then there's another benzoyl alcohol, which is a mild moisturizer, and it's okay to use. So get your magnifying glasses out when you buy your alcohol-based products. But some are good, some are not. Toothpaste. Do you know, when I was younger, I used to put, like I had a little pimple or, acne, I put toothpaste, a dab of toothpaste to dry it. And this article says not to do that. It's really abrasive on your skin. Maybe a tiny little spot as if it's breaking out, but not a good thing for your face. Next is lemon juice or cider vinegar. Now, there's been a big movement about cider vinegar lately, very popular for healthy, putting it in drinks, and it's just all these new discoveries about the healthy benefits of food. But in terms of putting it on your face, lemon and apple cider vinegar should not be put on your face like just full strength. Always mix it 50-50. It's actually antibacterial. So it's not bad for your face. And lemon juice, a lot of people mix it with, to make a mask or some kind of a facial treatment. But just don't put it on full force. Body lotion. I always wonder this because when I put like body lotion on my skin, and sandalwood is my favorite, by the way. What's yours? I put body lotion on my skin, then I have some left on my hands, and I just always rub it on my face. And so I wondered, is that a good thing? And the answer, according to this article, is yes. Go ahead. It's just it's probably oilier than you would normally put on your face, but it's okay. Then there's baking soda, which it says don't put that on your face by itself. Mix it in with a coconut oil or some moisturizer. It's good for your skin, but it's not to be put on just by itself. I think we all knew that. Cleansing brushes. A lot of people use these cleansing brushes. I don't. Do you? And basically what they say with these, where you put the cleansing brush in, it kind of either has a little motor or you scrub it, that it's not actually good for your skin if you use it a lot. Just to be thoughtful, because it's abrasive. And if you, if you rub too hard, it opens up your pores and they can get infected or get sore. So just go easy, I think, on the brushes. What tips do you have to share? What do you do with your skin? What do you not do with your skin that's worked? Share in the section below. And just a reminder, by the way, I talk on for 10-15 minutes here every morning, but this is your time too. So while I'm talking or afterwards, just go in and leave comments in the section below, and we get to know each other. Share your thoughts. It's your time. So just to close, I've been featuring a quote the last few days, and yesterday we asked a question about what you want to let go in your life. And I didn't choose a quote of a famous person today. I chose one of your quotes, a lady called Kathy. And Kathy just kind of said it for me. And I wanted to share it with all of you because I think we all feel this in some way. So when the answer to the question, what do I need to let go in my life? Kathy said this: letting go of the blueprints that I myself created in order to feel loved and accepted. I don't have to be a size 12 to be sexy. I don't need a man in my life to complete me. Aging is not the beginning to the end. I am vibrant, a passionate 60-year-old woman who will not go quietly into the night. I will celebrate and love myself for every single day as I dance to my own music. Thanks, Kathy. I thought that was just a really beautiful quote, and I think it's something for us to reflect on and ask ourselves that question: what do we need to let go in our lives to be happy? Thanks for all the comments, by the way. I just love reading them all, and I love just the feeling of that you're making yourselves welcome here and appreciating what we're doing. So if you do enjoy Mornings with 60 and Me, tell a friend. Just tell someone, phone someone right now, or send them an email. Do people phone anymore? I don't know. But send an email and invite them to join us, and go to 60andme.com/mornings. Okay, so let me think. My question for today, I think what I'd like to ask you is, what is the name that you would like younger people to call older women? So what is the name you would like to be called as an older woman? Leave your comments in the section below. Let's have a chat, and have a wonderful day. Have a great Wednesday, and I will look forward to seeing you all again here tomorrow with Mornings with 60 and Me. Thanks, everybody. Bye for now. Take good care.